In this video, let's look at PineScript variable types. So PineScript has quite a lot of different variable types you can use in your scripts. And in this video, let's look at the simplest one you can use in your computations. And so let's start with integer variables. So with integer variables, it's all super clear. It has int keyword, and also you can store positive and negative integer variables in that. With floating point variables, it's also quite simple. You can just use float keyword, and you can store floating point numbers in it. So it's also quite clear. The only thing is that you can rarely see in the scripts. This is called scientific notations. So basically you can represent your number if they're really small or really big in this kind of way. This means that number consists of 0, then 19 zeros, and after that only then you'll see 1.6. So it's really small number. You can represent your number this way if you want to. Next, also, this is probably the simplest type in PineScript. This is a bool variables. It can be only true or false, and you will use it a lot in things like alerts, conditions, like while loops, and so on. So it's quite useful. Also, you have string variables as well in PineScript. They're also quite simple. You can use single quotes or double quotes to define them. You can do certain operations with strings as well. We will look at it in future videos. And also you can create pretty complicated strings with internals, for example, new lines, or you can add some advanced like UTF-8 symbols to it as well. We will look at this a bit later in the course. And also there is a special variable for colors in PineScript, so it uses color keyword, and you can define color as a RGB color. Just put hash and after that RGB code you want. So basically you can use any color you want in PineScript, or you can use a set of predefined colors and built-in variables made by TradingView. It's also pretty simple. Now let's look at not available values in PineScript. So sometimes you might see not available values for some of your variables. For example, if you work currently with like a first bar of your bar set and you try to get previous value of one of the variables, you will get not available for sure. So I think it's important to know how to work with these values. So first of all, you can assign not available to your variables as well. So for example, here you can see how I define like int variable as not available. Just assign to it a built-in variable and a, and it will become not available. And also you can assign it the following way. Just put your variable here and assign to it int function call with not available as only argument. And all other variable types work the same way with not available. So you can assign it as usual, or you can use like a function with type name and an a is the only argument, and also it create not available for you. To check that the current value of your variable is an a, you can use an a function. So it's quite simple. You just pass your variable to this function, and if current value is not available, it will return true to you, and if it's not available, it will return false for you. So here, for example, I color my background when my variable is not available. I color it red, and I keep it the same for all other values. Next, let's check another pretty important topic for PineScript variables. These are single value variables and series variables. So simply speaking, single values variables are variables that doesn't change across all your bars, so it stays the same. And series variables differs from bar to bar and can be changed over the period of bars. So here I have a kind of example of like single value variables. So basically here I assign like 1 to my variable and I don't change it after that. So it will be 1 for all my bars. So it's single value variable. And series variable depend on some conditions. So here I just compare close to open, and if it's above I use 2, if it's below I use 3. So basically, as you can see, it will be different for every new bar coming. And of course this is a series variable because it will be different for all my bars, and it might cause some problems for you because some functions, for example, works only with series and some works only with a single value variable. So here I have an example. So here I have Bollinger Bands function, and it will compute Bollinger Bands. So here I'm using as a multiplier, I use singular variable, and as you can see I just will edit the chart, and as you see it seems to work. I have it displayed. But if I will try to change it to my series variable, and I can edit the chart, and you'll see here I have an error that it doesn't work. It's not that's not working with the series variable. And you can let's click Ctrl and click on our function, Bollinger Band function, and here you will see documentation of our Bollinger Band function. And if you'll see at multiplier, you see that it wants you to pass a simple int or float value, and it doesn't work with series. So you can see as a series you can pass series int or float, as a length you can pass series int, but as a multiplier you cannot pass a series. So just keep it in mind, and if you have any problems with that, check documentation of your functions just to know if this function works with a series or not.